following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Of course! Of course!
Well, at least we get to stay in here and not get rained on.
Yes.
Then you hear the sound of a carriage being drawn up outside. 2 horses hitched up. Each one brown as a horse's brown. The carriage faded brown with iron fittings and some brass. And the wheels! The wheels! They've got spokes in them!
Not gonna lie, some part of me hoped it was kind of like a princess carriage.
Okay.
Did your people even...
3 can sit facing one way, 3 can sit facing the other, and then there's 2 that can sit on the top with the
Well, one has to be the driver.
and then, okay.
Why do you think I was so fascinated with that toy store?
Oh, so much is explained.
We had nothing. I mean, Derek asked me, did we have these kinds of things in the vault? I just looked at them.
Yeah, I mean, Disney princesses would be a lot to take in all of a sudden.
So you 2 get on the cart, direct them back to the hotel where you pick up these clowns.
The spinners.
You ride spinners, you ride spinners, you don't stop. Song does though.
The university, please.
Alright. Yeah!
They're all together.
He's also the driver.
About 6 on the inside, so Derek will sit up front, outside.
He wants to drive.
Not necessarily.
You might want to hold
Don't
the
want the
umbrella
others to get
for him.
wet.
So I was going to say you should hold the umbrella for him.
Yeah,
So
Steal Dix's umbrella.
This town's an old one, goes back a long way. Caught up, no doubt you've heard the legends, caught up in the same fevers what swept all the area, Salem and the lot, witches and burnings and all of that. And now, tourists for everyone. Oh, look at the magic, oh, isn't it funny? There's no such thing as magic. It's all for the little children. Ooh, the things that went on here, people died. Don't be thinking it's all fun and glory. And then with the university, there's no better, or no better at all. And that there, it looks like a park, but it used to be a blood circle, it did. And there's many what died there. Many what died. And now how pretty it is. Why do you think the flowers grow so bright and tall? It's watered with the blood of the innocent, caught up in hysteria. How they grow, how they rise up. You keep your eyes off what?
Will do.
You let me know if we be needing any speed. They may look knackered, but they've got it where it counts. I made a lot of special modifications myself. To the carriage.
Oh, of course.
And don't be holding with that university things, messing around with life.
Too right, that.
You be watching out. Any queer-eyed fellers staring too much or too long or not long enough, they be after. They be after you, they be after what you got. They be after the carriage. You'll keep an eye athwart. Don't look at me!
They sure as shit ain't gonna get anything.
You have any problems, the blunderbuss is right here.
You can spend the next 5 minutes loading it.
It's loaded and ready to go.
Blunderbuss. I like it. Point and shoot.
That's how it works.
I can't help but notice you're wearing a captain's hat.
Oh, observant kind as you.
That's me.
I spent my time in the water. 35 years, man and boy. And then It all dried up. Moved back to Arkham. There's no work for you anymore. There's no work for your no otters.
That's an odd thing. You'd think they'd always want fishermen.
Not when there's no fish.
No fish?
But things, they turned around again from the looks of it. But I'll not be going back. It's too late for that. Oh, we've arrived! Oh!
Has he got an umbrella on him, or is he under a canopy?
Yeah, it just lets rain fall on him.
You want to hold this while we're inside?
Did you no need it to keep the water off your precious little head?
I don't. I mean, the others might like it, but it's kind of funny seeing him get wet for once.
It's not a good thing to laugh at the misfortunes of your friends. It speaks to a cruelty in your heart.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Put down and wrap on the door. We're here.
Good. Oh, such a gentleman, Derek. Thank you.
I used to have an umbrella like that once.
Hold it for the others coming out.
Well, university it is.
The buildings of this august institution are styled in a Victorian imitation of the Roman style. Peaked facades clean of ivy or other growth which may infest other institutions, narrow windows dulled with age, grime and lantern soot. The gardens kept neat, grass manicured to a reasonable length, that it would brush the cuffs of properly fitted trousers. Before the main building rests an ancient column holding aloft a statue of some long-forgotten luminary, a bespectacled man holding a brass lantern upraised in one hand, within which a genuine light shines, and open in his left a thick tome carved of the same marble as the figure himself. Before him a raised angled plinth with a bronze plaque screwed into it proclaims his nature.
What is his nature?
Derek approaches the plaque and reads it. The seeker of knowledge, for to the darkest ignorance he bears forth a light, pushing back those shadows and allowing the observer and measuring of the world. That others may benefit from his labour, he inscribes his undertaking into a book. Marble steps rise to the double entryway of the central building, girded by thick stone banisters.
Awful fitting for a place of learning.
Does the book he's holding actually have
And you
any...
can't see from you're on the ground. It's a big statue.
it isn't angled.
There's nothing on the cover of the book which would
That's all I was wondering, is the cover of the spine.
A discarded fedora seems to be caught underneath a bush.
Is it got a green hat there?
Does.
Jen, is that one of Alex's?
It looks like it.
Did you want to go?
Yes.
Go get it then.
Scamper off. Pick up the fedora, search around for a bit, and then come back. You'll be like, there's another cassette.
Was in the hat brim or something.
It was under the hat.
It's leaving like breadcrumbs or something. Very strange habit he has.
Quite a snappy new waistcoat and a tie for Stalby. It helps. This Katsonic University is a cool looking building, or set of such. Campus, I guess. Sandstone seems to squat in the shadows. Great trees. It's the appearance of a campus in the Ivy League you would expect. But the Texas here and the classes, a little out of date. We have an occult department. And still advocates bloodletting and shot treatment. I hope I don't get sick here. Nurse outfits are nice though. Nurses should wear more hats. Professors here scoff at my inquiries and direct me hence to the library. Their eyes speak disbelief. making it worse when I tell them of my inquiry and my intention. They bid me to return to Nevada and not put my nose in things that does not belong in.
There's a B-side.
Look at him on Bradford. He was Michael Bolton Bradford had 4 children, 2 in 1880, boy and a girl, and an George, twins. Another in 1882, Mark Abbott Bolton, a PI. And another in 1888, Josiah Bradford. Josiah was married, it seems, and had children, 3 of them, and calling this branch the Josiah Bolton Bradford branch. Josiah's wife was Louise Ellen Nietzsche, and was the daughter of a Scottish sailor. Child, one born in 1911, Jotham Josiah Bradford. He was a butcher and a soldier in World War II. And a son, born in 1954, Father Amos Bradford. A priest. Can't find anything about him. Child 2 born in 1913, Barbara Bradford. Barbara was a school teacher and married a professor at Miskatonic University. They moved to an island. Can't find out more. Child 3 born 1915. Franklin Bradford. Nothing on him yet.
It mentions that island.
I get a feeling we're going to end up there at some point.
Mm-hmm. And occult classes.
Maybe not exactly the type of university we were expecting.
And they directed him to the library whenever he asked anything. I assume they mean the public library, not the university one.
Probably try to poke around the university library, I'm sure.
At some point, yes.
It's just whether it got turned away or not.
So we're going in?
Sure.
No stone unturned.
So the question is, what
What do we say?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the university's hardly a place with a lot of motor vehicles, is what you're saying?
Well, we do know that they had a break-in, and that they might not be aware of it yet, but the police are going to be very unhelpful. In fact, they're going to launch an... Oh, I didn't hear that. But
Yeah, but how will that help us?
they might be willing to talk if we express that we are willing to help with their problem.
But we're DMV agents.
We just have to make up another lie.
But then they'll ask to see our ID, so it's...
Well, I'm getting out of the rain.
Yes.
The group ascends the steps and pushes open the brass push plates on the doors and enters inside. Polished granite tiles are dulled by the scuffs of many shoes. The reception and administration desk, so declaimed by a hanging embossed wooden sign, the letters picked out in aging gold leaf, is made of detailed stone, graven into the relief of Greek gods. Its upper surfaces once crisp edges worn round by long use. Green limelight blazes around the room from enclosed globes, fed by brass piping. Candlesticks provide islands of warmer light at desks in use by harried staff. The high corners shadowed and black. The walls tightly fitted stone blocks hung with various paintings depicting historic university moments foreign to you. A scene of several men posing in unrecognizable in fur coats and hoods, rimed goggles propped atop their heads, surrounded by white and blue scene that must be ice and snow. A yawning cave to the side of them as they proudly hold before them an ancient statue of what might be a person. Another one is a number of mustached and bearded men with bald, dark-skinned man before an open stone portal in a sand-filled plain dotted with broad-leafed trees. A hieroglyphed circular stone fully the size of a donkey before them, as they beam with pride and accomplishment. Another. A misty valley of hazy indecipherability, featuring distant Roman edifice, a Saxon building closer to the foreground, and in the mid-distance a third building of unknown makeup, but of roughly trapezoidal shape. What resembles a path winds through the mist, but upon closer inspection it is revealed to be a horde of rats. A fourth one. A balding man with a Victorian ruff, long hair fringing the back of his cranium, tiny circular glasses perched low on his nose, a long beard topped with a curling moustache. He holds a skull in one hand, a retort filled slightly with a pale blue liquid. The background is naught but a coloured oval of fading to black around him.
Well, these got a little bit weirder as time went on.
With rats. It's disgusting.
Got artist signed it. Is it a Bradford?
No. There are no signatures on these.
Well, these first few just seem like portraits of some kind of
Nancy, do you know
archaeology.
anything about these?
I'm not an art critic. They don't look like they're worth that much. Not even a signature. Or did you mean, can I read the stone?
Huh? Well, I mean, if you can read the stone, that works too.
Nah.
Who knows where that is?
I just didn't know if you recognized the artist's brush, or I don't know how you word it.
I probably leave these on the wall.
Well, these probably aren't the ones that were brought here that were mentioned in the newspaper anyway.
I doubt they'd hang them.
At least not here in the entrance.
That would afford a certain amount of security, being in plain sight in a very public area. Is the university actually in session? Like, is there...
Mm-hmm.
But there, most people are in actual classes at the moment, so there's a lot of people wandering around.
That's the way it is. So how we play this?
Well, we need to find information on Mildred's friend who was here. I don't know how to play that.
Yeah.
I think he was ejected on unfavourable terms, so I don't know if it's a good idea to just ask the receptionist.
Well, what do we know about him?
His name is Edward, and he's a friend of Mildred's, and he was kicked out of the university for unconventional weirds. Full stop.
From the sound of it, there was some funky stuff going on in that basement.
He might have been into the medical thing with the
He had this
bloodletting bed.
all those medical journals.
Hard to tell if he was into the medical or the occult.
Or some combination.
Should just tug her hood down further and just like approach the desk.
Excuse me.
Yep. Can I help you?
A friend of mine, Edward, he is here.
Mr. Edward. I'm afraid he was let go. A friend of yours?
How long ago was he let go?
Several years. We, of course, don't condone any such things.
Do you still have any of his things here? Equipment, books, properties?
He borrowed some things of mine. I'm afraid I can't disclose that kind of information. Who are you?
That does not matter. Thank you for your time. We will speak again. Come back over to the group. It definitely provokes a reaction.
Interesting improv.
I am foreign.
I don't suppose you got anything out of the receptionist while she was talking with her decks.
Oh yeah. There's definitely stuff of his here.
Did you
And
get a word
this
out?
is not the first time today someone's been asking about him.
Aha.
Our reporter friends, most likely.
Actually, I believe it was a visiting academic.
Oh,
So not somebody from our
It probably
competition?
was.
they might have shifted up their lie. But it could have been.
Do you know
someone
which
else.
one it was?
I mean, I can go rummaging around in her head if you want, but she might notice.
Probably best not.
What we didn't even know is what department he was in. That would have. Bugger.
Or where his stuff's been kept.
I wonder.
We can't ask where stuff was kept. At least if we knew what department he was in, we could go there and do our own
I'm going to
investigation.
start looking around to see if the university's got anything. Because sometimes they'll have things where they've got pictures of shooters and accolades and so forth.
Nothing like that.
Okay.
Not in this room, anyway.
No, okay.
Might have them in specific areas, if they're specific departments, or another common area.
We're finding out what he did here.
Is there a list on the board what they teach you? What
No, there isn't. But there are staff around.
Do we try to ask somebody? Do you think that trick will work again?
I've often find that people want to believe what they want to believe. So yes,
If we can find out what department at least he was in, we can narrow it right down.
Okay, what is the best way to ask for
Sorry.
that? Because realistically, I should know.
They might have more clue on where the stuff was stored.
I thought we were not to ask about that.
No. Anyone got an idea?
It's
I
possible
mean,
you
outside of breaking into their own records in their offices, no.
It's possible you could try to ask about exactly what he did to get kicked out. They probably won't answer, but they might think it. And then Dex could pick up on it.
Very well.
I don't know if it'll help us, but it could be useful.
Strange woman. I'm sorry. Do not apologize. I am used to it in this land. What did my friend Edward do that was so great that he must be ejected from this establishment? I'm sure I wouldn't discuss such unseemly things. A certain violation of the policy of Miskatonic University. Which specific policy? Madam, we don't discuss such unseemly things. That sort of thing is not condoned here, and we certainly wouldn't bring it up. It just isn't done. I must speak with his replacement then. I have come over many seas, traveling many moons to discuss this matter. Well, I suppose I could refer you to Professor Armstrong. Very good. And where may I find him? In the honeydew wing. He'll be in class now, though. I will be discreet. Lord, and watch over you.
Something. Watch it.
Did you just say something?
In my land, that word means glorious heavens.
Glorious heavens.
He got kicked out for trying to raise the dead.
Makes sense.
Like putting lightning into their face or something.
That would do that.
No,
Wait,
it wouldn't.
what?
It
No, I
wouldn't.
meant that would get you kicked out.
Yeah. I don't imagine that would work.
Putting lightning in someone's face?
I'm going to ask Johnny if he can bring people back to life.
I'm sure lightning to people's faces usually does the opposite of bringing someone back to life.
I mean, she could always be wrong.
I mean, maybe if you're trying to raise the dead in the sense that you're trying to propel it to a higher altitude, but
Thought occurs.
Oh,
Maybe,
Pay close attention, Derek.
maybe it wasn't lightning. Maybe it was meant to be light.
lightning to their face.
Maybe he's studying Bradford stuff.
Seems to be a running theme in our family.
Yeah.
Like getting kicked out of institutions for immoral things.
No, the light.
Wait a minute. No, that's silly.
Well, now we have the run of the building. Perhaps we can
this
explore
point.
places.
Well,
and
you already commented on how some of them were unusually long-lived. What if they had a way of extending their lives through some kind of...
Ritual.
keep looping back around to magic stuff.
Magic doesn't exist.
Magic's comic book shit, man. Come on.
That's pretty much what the guy driving the cart said.
I'm sure there's a science to it.
I don't know. Seems all too far-fetched to me. Unless it's something they suddenly pulled out of their ass post-mutancy. I don't know.
But a lot of this stuff happened before mutants were a thing.
Maybe that's a bunch of coincidence.
Well, we have free run of the building now down that wing.
Let's go.
The group boldly set off into next week's adventure.
Oh.
Honeydew wing.
Didn't realise it was that late. Didn't realise it was that late. Didn't realise it was that late. Didn't realise...
I was born depressed and I end up in one big mess and trip around it, trip around it. I was born jaded, I lift one finger up to display it and trip around it, trip around it, trip around it, trip around it. I'm born different, born
place is amazing. It's like stepping off of a bus into the past. Boston. Boston is like an old gangster movie, a little behind the times. But Arkham County? It seems somehow out of time, turn of the century. 20th century, that is. There are a few cars. They call them autos here. And all I have seen are older models, from the 20s or 30s. Horse and cart are not uncommon. I have seen more hats here than ever before. People have style. Their ways and manners of speech are very old time as well. In order not to cause trouble, we have to lie about our age and pose as newlyweds. Jenna's gonna kill me. In truth, it was impossible not to bring Babette. I could not say to my client, but there are more questions than answers where her family is concerned. Babette and I were both drawn with curiosity. What lay behind our joint love of shadows and marvels was, no doubt, the ancient, mouldering, and subtly fearsome town in which it is set. Witch-cursed, legend-haunted Arkham, whose huddled, sagging gambrel roofs and crumbling Georgian balustrades brood out of the centuries behind the dark, muttering Miskatonic. Now I am here. I found myself once at a loss, detached from my familiar haunts and adrift with no certain footing to give me ease. There's an attitude of closed-mouthedness here. Nobody wants to tell me anything. I inquire into the matter which drew me hence, and I am met with the tightening of once affable lips and the withdrawal of offers of comradeship. The Bradford family is interesting. There seems to be more of them than I could find for the family tree. Michael Bolton Bradford, for example, had 2 children, a boy and a girl. But here I have records of 4 children, and one of them was a PI, like me. I kept getting stonewalled, though. I straight up got chased out of a church for asking about Father Bradford, Amos. Strange. I've acquired a snappy new waistcoat and a tie of the style here. It helps. Miskatonic University is a cool-looking building, or set of such. Campus, I guess. Aged and damp stone seems to squat in the shadows of great trees, and has the appearance of a campus in the Ivy League you would expect. But the texts here and the classes are a little out of date. They have an occult department, and still advocate bloodletting and shock treatment. I hope I don't get sick here. The nurse outfits are nice, though. Nurses should wear more hats. The professors here scoff at my inquiries, and direct me hence to the library. Their eyes speak disbelief, matching their words when I tell them of my inquiry and my intentions. They bid me to return to Nevada and not put my nose in things that does not belong in. I've located more Bradfords. It seems Michael Bolton Bradford had 4 children, 2 in 1880, a boy and a girl, and in Jordan, twins. Another in 1882, Mark Abbott Bolton, a PI. And another in 1888, Josiah Bradford. Josiah was married, it seems, and had children, 3 of them. I'm calling this branch the Josiah Bolton Bradford branch. Josiah's wife was Louise Ellen Meacham, and was the daughter of a Scottish sailor. Child one born in 1911, Jotham Josiah Bradford. He was a butcher and a soldier in World War II. He had a son, born 1954, Father Amos Bradford, a priest. Can't find anything about him. Child 2 born in 1913, Barbara Bradford Barbara, was a school teacher and married a professor at Miskatonic University. They moved to an island. Can't find out more. Child 3 born 1915, Franklin Bradford. Nothing on him yet.